Independent. Do you know what that means? I do. I'm here today to talk about the art of independence. That's a big one. The art of independence is a practice that I put into practice literally all day, every day. And I'm not saying that as a joke, even though it came out kind of silly sounding. It's the truth. Being independent is really a difficult thing. Hello, Clash. Hello, Droid Maker. We're talking about the art of independence today. And being independent is something that happens little bit by little bit. Becoming fully self-sustainable is not something that happens overnight. But what can happen overnight is our mindset shift, which allows us to be able to be awakened to just how much we really can do on our own, that I'm enough, and becoming enough, what and who we are and what we do. It really changes literally everything. We're able to have a completely different life and make do with what we've got, to be able to lean into abundance and know that abundance is actually the organic code of our universe, that love is the organic code of our universe, and that we are able to abandon scarcity altogether and really believe in our own selves. And once we have that, we're able to really change our own lives and change other people's lives around us. And so today's topic is an important one to talk about. Thank you for being here, Michelle, for Miko Fowler coming here. You're what up, homie? I see you, Clash. You make me happy. This is I'm putting on a mantra chat in the background. Chant, not chat. It's Mo Mohia, and it means something in particular, and it has changed my life. This is the quote. Let's see, I'll read it. It's Mo Mohia Jane Durhe, Kaho Nanek Sada Hadurhe. And what that means is, infatuated with emotional attachment, we think that it's a very long journey toward enlightenment, toward being one with oneself, toward living in the moment. Says Nanak, it is here, it is now, it is available to all of us. That's deep. It's really deep. And I'll just say that this has come up more than once today. So once that happens, I take that as a sign from my guides to share what it is that has seemed relevant for the day. And I've been seeing this trend of releasing emotional attachments, and how that is what can really bring us into our full independence in ourselves. And it is an art. And just like art, it takes practice. And so what has deeply healed me is this mantra chant. And I've woken up. I haven't done this in a long time, and maybe I am being reminded to start doing this again. But typically I wake up and I start meditating. If not immediately, then certainly within the first hour of my being awake. I've even started finally getting to a point where I'm waking up early to meditate. And then if I fall back asleep, I do. I've never been able to do that. And so that's interesting how the healing can evolve as an entity of its own being. I digress. This mantra has changed my life. Whenever I made a point to wake up and immediately listen to this, also layered on top of Vipassana, which is gongs. Every 5 minutes, there's a gong that brings you back into the intention. I started listening to this after a really painful breakup. It was a long-term relationship that I didn't anticipate ending. I was the person that was broken up with. So it was very painful, but it was exactly what I needed. And I look at myself now and I'm just like, wow, I've blossomed so beautifully. And I have nothing but gratitude for the relationship and for the individual and for the overcoming, because that's what I needed at that point in my life, was to overcome emotional attachments and to let go. In that, I learned what it really is to be independent. As an independent, full functioning powerhouse of a woman, of a person, of a human being. That's what I've become. And I'm just beginning. Like, I'm very much in the beginning of this journey. But it's gotten so beautiful these past several weeks, especially. I'm amazed at my own self and the ways that abundance and the ways that my independence has attracted individuals into my life that, like, I didn't know relationship like this was possible. I didn't know that business could be done this way. It's all about enjoying yourself. Like, joy and fun are tenets that we have forgotten, but they're so important. And I think that helped guide me on that journey of independence too, because learning how to be independent, I learned I gotta prioritize joy first. Hello, Anahita. I see your kisses. Thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Giving them back. Prioritizing joy first is, if I could recommend one thing in time management to every single person, it's that we have this idea that we have to do things, period. Like, we have an idea, this misconception that we have to do certain things. Like, we don't really have to do pretty much anything, do we? We expect ourselves to, and then we might resent ourselves for not accomplishing specific things. But, like, our physical body, if we are breathing and drinking water and sleeping, like, we'll make it through. So that tells me that in terms of making money for myself and in terms of building business and building network and community and all of these things that I'm actively doing, I'm not saying screw it, just do nothing. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we can do that and be independent, because we can always meet what is required of us. Always. It just takes a lot of bravery. It only takes a few things to live a life that we dream of. A life dreamt can be a life lived. It just takes courage and commitment and a sense of humor. Like, it definitely takes that. Yes, Lewis, exactly. Finding balance. And that's what I've set out and intended to do for this year for myself. 2021's one-word intention is balance. And healing emotional attachments and letting go has been a huge lesson in balance for me all year long. And it's only middle of April right now. And I had a moment with myself where I was like, oh, I'm balanced. I feel the equilibrium. So it's just going to become more and more balanced from here. But that's such a beautiful feeling, to be wanting to actively manifest something and to feel it happening. To feel it, to know that our intention is coming true just by the art and the act of setting that intention. So Mo'omohaya is one example of that, the mantra to overcome attachments and letting go. But there's infinite examples of this. And I am going to keep this live pretty short today. I'm going to grab my laundry in just a second, but I do want to read something that also changed my life before I go. And so I'm going to read a few lines of that. And I just want to thank everybody, too, who's popped into this impromptu live. It's not the time I normally schedule my lives. I normally do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays at 5:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But today I was on someone else's live during that time, so now I'm doing this one a little bit later. Regardless, I'm grateful for all of you for even wanting to chime in and to tune in and to say hello, because it makes me really happy. So thank you for doing that. All right, this is the excerpt that I want to read before I log off, and I want to quote the person who said it. So it is a quote by Hazrat Inayat Khan, and he is a very powerful soul. And the quote is something I just posted on my LinkedIn. Hi, Veronica. Of course, as soon as I say LinkedIn, you pop up. I just am reading this really quick before I log off, so here it goes. I asked for strength, and God gave me difficulties to make me strong. I asked for wisdom, and God gave me problems to learn to solve. I asked for prosperity, and God gave me a brain and brawn to work. I asked for love, and God gave me troubled people to help. I asked for favors, and God gave me opportunities. I received nothing that I wanted. I received everything I needed. Trust in God. I mean, that's powerful stuff. It takes a lot of trust to be independent. You think that independence means you don't ever lean on other people. That's not the truth. Being independent means being so rock solid, like with boundaries of steel, as an individual, that you can learn to trust others. Because once we learn to trust others, well, it's just the truth. We already had to learn how to trust ourselves. You can't trust someone else without trusting yourself first. Of course, Florence, this poem was a quote by Hazrat Inayat Khan. And yes, Michelle, I absolutely would love to send you a copy of it. So thank you. If I forget, please remind me, but I'm going to make a point to do it right after this. And I'm going to tag you on my LinkedIn post, which has it as the caption, since it's up right here, Michelle. And Florence. I know, Florence, you're not on as much, but I'm still tagging you. So there you have it. Anyways, yes, I think it's really important to reflect on these things, to talk about these things, and to trust. Like it does. It sounds like, Karn VMA. Yes, this is a Hindi mantra that we're listening to. But what I just read is different. The mantra is Moh Mohaya Jane Dur Hai Kaho Nanak Sada Padur Hai. Thank you for saying that. I've been doing an amazing job. It's very sweet. I'm here showing up in my truth and spreading truth and trusting myself and trusting others. And it's been such a divine experience. Someone on my LinkedIn, hello James, asked how I'm doing, and that's how. I'm manifesting greatness daily, and I'm not able to do any of that alone, and I wouldn't want to. Being independent doesn't mean being alone. That's the main reason why I wanted to come on here. We have this idea that if we want to be in community with others, we have to sacrifice our independence, and it's not the truth. In fact, if we're building community with the right people, it will be an alignment of individualization. It will be an alignment of independent beings living in their inspiration, living in their freedom. That's the way it should be. And it can be. It really can be that way. And yes, Michelle, God did not create us to be alone at all. I was just on a live with Lisa, our mutual friend, Michelle, and now other people on LinkedIn are popping in. I'll acknowledge as well that she's on LinkedIn. She had just asked me just before we got off the live, and it was just about, really we talked about a lot of different things, but something that I said to her that really resonated with her was that our gifts are not our own. It's what we do with them that really makes a difference. Our gifts are here for us to serve others, to serve humanity, to save humanity. No, we are not going to do it alone. We're going to do it all together, but it takes us all to practice the art of independence so that we can be stronger together. So those are my words of wisdom for the evening / night, or wherever you are. I know I've got people all around the world, which is so cool. So cool. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in, for listening to me speak. That's a humbling thing. I promise that much. And I hope that if you gained anything from this, you make yourself known in the chat, in the comment section. And I would love to send you the mantra song that's playing in the background or the poem. Just let me know that you want it. I'm here to serve in that way. So thank you for being you. Thank you for being here with me right now. And for anyone watching the playback, let me know what resonates with you, because this is how I learned how to grow. So thank you, everybody, and be blessed tonight and always. Love.